Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gabriel Dusil. I am the co-founder and general manager of Adel Ecosystem Limited. We are a community-based blockchain innovation and technology company. What that means, we're community-based in the sense that we are incubating projects in a community model. Imagine Wikipedia, but now using Wikipedia for building business plans. Okay, we are a blockchain-based incubator, which means that we're incubating projects in the blockchain space because we believe that blockchain is going to change the world. So what we want to do is we want to incubate projects in the blockchain space because we believe that we can change the world with those projects as well. We have arranged our company in two types of communities. The community of the Adel services, where we have board members, we have a team of people in the project review committee, which helps with the incubation of ideas. And then we have the community, and these are members of the community that will help in bringing ideas to the ecosystem and then bringing those ideas through the pipeline of development in the business planning process. So in order to do that, what we've created is this idea to project supply chain. And it's all about architecting a solution where we can streamline people, process, and technology so that we bring ideas to a pipeline. And because it's not just about ideas, it's about making sure that those ideas are viable and having the community collectively build on that idea, challenge the idea, and the ones that are popular then move to the business planning stage. Again, we then incubate the business planning and then move through a voting process, which is a democratic voting process, so that the community decides which projects move to the execution stage. And that's the third stage. We call it I2, idea incubation, P2, project planning, and E2, enterprise execution. That's our code for the idea to project supply chain. To take that to the next level, we have members that bring ideas to the community, and they become an innovator. And through this innovative process, we go through a filtering process to make sure that these ideas are ethical, legal, and moral. And then once we've had that board review and the project review committee, then we go through the incubation of the idea. The community votes on it, and if it's their majority vote, it becomes a community project. If it's a minority vote, then it moves to a group project. So just because a minority agree on it doesn't mean that we have to shelve the project. It can still move forward as a project. So what makes us different in terms of Adel? It's really about the collaborative aspect of our ecosystem. We collaborate in this ecosystem together to bring expertise from different areas of the world to move the projects forward. It's resilient because we're using blockchain. We also have a perspective environment because not only are these members moving through this pipeline, but they can also be employed in these projects at the end as well. Flexible in terms of participation, in terms of profit. It's exclusive because we have membership, and it's also principled because we use this idea of the Adel philosophy, which I want to introduce to you right now. So the Adel philosophy is the foundation to Adel in terms of really guiding the projects of idea to project supply chain through the philosophy, starting with the decentralized nature of blockchain and the decentralized nature of the projects that we'll be incubating as well. Leading to transparency, we want to have an open and transparent network in terms of the development of these projects. It has to be trusted and private, and in order to protect the intellectual property of these projects as they're being incubated. And it's a distributed architecture similar to blockchain. Privacy is another aspect that I mentioned. We want to make sure that there's data protection and privacy similar into the fintech and the banking communities, principled in terms of making sure that we have a code of conduct that applies to our members as well as our staff, and of course ethics. And when we have our ideas moving through this philosophy, then we have a foundation to move forward into the incubation process. Okay, so to finish off, we are incubating these ideas on a global scale. We want to incubate fintech projects, GovTech, healthcare, health tech, let's say, Internet of Things, ICT, information communication technology, where we will have 6 modules that we will be using in order to guide this process of incubation and as well as trading and then seeing the status of projects. And we have structured Adel in terms of this, the different phases. At the moment, we're in phase 2, which is really the incubation of projects as we move forward. So thank you very much for your time. I think I made it on time. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Perfect timing, Gabriel. Very nice presentation. So I have a first question, and maybe we can see the Slido questions on the screen. My first question is, it seems to me that your company is really global. Yeah, there is no limit, no borders, maybe some regulations, but most probably not. Yeah, so why Czech Republic? Is it because you have the roots here, or is it that you have the best engineers, or both, or yeah, where this model actually works best? Yeah, in which markets?
That's okay. I can take this one maybe. So, very good question, Senta. We are a global company. The founders are in the Czech Republic. Michael Vavrek is the founder of Adel. Jan Lamser, which was on speaking earlier or on the panel, is also a board member, and myself. So we have basically established Adel in the Czech Republic, and this is where we've built out this decentralized organization with the seeds in the Czech Republic. Our legal entity is in the Isle of Man, but we have staff all around the world in a decentralized fashion, and we believe this is really going to change the dynamic and the fundamentals of employment in terms of how staff members can work from home in a decentralized manner and complement really the brick and mortar aspect to employment in this model.
If you should describe or explain blockchain to your grandmother in one sentence, what would you tell her?
I would say to my grandmother, enjoy the time with me for the next 5 minutes that we have.
Okay, so if it would
but
not
I will try. Okay. Let me try to. I mean, because I've tried to explain this to my mother about 10 times. So really, this is a challenge. So she doesn't know what I've done for the last 20 years because I was in IT security. That was difficult enough. So I think it's really about looking at the blockchain as a database and a new type of database that will flatten the structure of the globe. Similar to how the internet has flattened the borders or removed borders in terms of communication, blockchain can do that on an information basis as well, and the storage of information. So governments in the past had storage of information, let's say in a government space in their country, and now with blockchain we can have a shared information across companies, across borders, across regions, and really share information on a global scale. And that's probably, I would have lost her already, so that's how I would start.
Okay, thank you. There is a comment. I do not have any idea what you are talking about, but you have my vote. That's good. Another Czech humor. So, is Adel a methodology or a software which could be used by any company?
So Adel is really about, as I mentioned in the presentation, it's about people, process, and technology. It's really about a fine-tuned engine, and many of you that have been in the cloud services will know that people, process, and technology is really about a well-oiled engine of combining technology with people and process in order to have a cloud-based service. And blockchain is really a decentralized cloud service. It's really taking cloud services that has existed for the last 15 years and decentralized it in a much more resilient scale. So we have software components, it's about process, and it's about really bringing together the collaborative environment of communities in order to make projects viable and executable on a global scale.
We still do have 3 questions, but I will just pick one, and the last 2 ones you will answer like over the email. Yeah. So, how do you incubate and pick up your projects?
So, incubation is through a submission process. So, one of our modules is called a collaboration module, and we will be incubating projects in a wiki process. I mentioned Wikipedia. Wiki is a standard tool right now for collaborative document creation. And we are going to be using a wiki process in the basis of building ideas and building business plans. So there's a member that brings an idea to the community. They basically will submit that idea for the ethical approval, and then the community together will incubate that idea in this wiki module. What we want to do is we want to do something unprecedented. We want to incubate these projects in a wiki process on a multi-language scale and utilize off-the-shelf tools like Google Translate and Bing Translate and so on, so that the Japanese can incubate in parallel to us, and when they make a change to the document, then we will see a Google Translate of that sentence. And many of you know that use these translation tools. They're not perfect, but it really saves a lot of time when we're translating. So there will be always a native speaker that improves on that sentence, and ultimately we could have a Spanish version of a business plan, a Japanese version, a Czech version, an English version, French, and so on, all in parallel, and this has never been done before. So we're very excited about it.
His name is Gabriel Dusil, and his company is Adel. Adel Foy. Thanks so much, Gabriel.
Thank you.